Thank you everyone for joining us today, and welcome to the first Circular Talks with Evreka webinar. Today's topic will be on the importance of material recovery and recycling for sustainability. Our panelists will be Ecem, Key Account Manager in Evreka, and representing our partner CATEC Green will be Ahmed Fatian, the Chief Operations Manager at Tarheel. So first we will have short presentations by each panelist with a nice company overview, and then we will move on to the panel questions. So we can start with our first presentation by Ecem. So I'm giving the floor to her.
Hello everyone, this is Ecem from Evreka. As Defne mentioned, I'm working as a Key Account Manager. And today I will be doing a little introduction about our company, what do we do and what we are providing as the solution. Basically, Evreka is a SaaS company which is specialized in waste management and cleaning operations. We founded in 2015, and at the beginning it was just an IoT company, but in 2019 we completely pivoted to a SaaS company. Currently we are operating more than 20 countries all around the world, and recently we also opened a new office in Netherlands, Eindhoven. So we are always trying to be expanding all around the world. And at this page, you can also see our geographical footprint. We have customers, we have partners, and our approach is to see our partners. Always we are trying to be better in the market, in the industry. So that's why we are doing this webinar, why we are doing this brainstormings and discussions also. Here at this page, you can see some of our references. In our portfolio, we have enterprise clients, we have SME companies, social organizations, smart cities, and also we are getting the support of our technological partners like Oracle, Vodafone, Huawei, and also we are getting the support of financial institutions for specific projects. And when we come to our solution ecosystem, we position ourselves as all-in-one platform. Yes, within the industry, there are lots of tools and solutions. Some of them are good for route optimization. Some of them are just dealing with the geolocation. But what we are capable of to bring all these features and solutions together. We are working in a modular structure. We are providing end-to-end solutions from collection to after recycling. We have software, we have hardware, we are providing end-user applications also, and each of them are talking to each other in the integrated way. And also we are capable to get integrated with the existing solutions, with the third-party solution providers as well. Our solutions are ready to go on the shelf. So we can say the implementation process is really quick. We are also providing return on investment, of course. We are making the cost reduction related to the operational level. It can be a fuel consumption level decrease, and also it can be a reallocation of the resources, both our workload and also any type of asset allocations, the vehicle allocations will be optimized, of course. And it's easy to use. With one click or two click, you will be handling as much as tasks within the platform. It's easy to use both in the application interfaces and the dashboard itself, and it's easy to integrate it. And here at this page, you can see our general solution ecosystem. At the core, we have software solutions. These are like our instruments. Each of them has their own unique voices, but when they bring together, they are also creating the orchestra itself. So each of them has their unique features. For example, with our customer management, the engagement part, the citizens also can have the applications, the commercial clients can have the applications, they can create their requests, they can generate some pickup requests within the application. It's automatically triggering the operation part. Then the field employees will be using the application. It's after it's handled in that part, it's automatically coming the operation management back, and the service reports will be created. Each of them is triggering each other, And at the end of the day, we have MRF management here. Today, of course, we will be talking much more the importance of material recovery facility management. We are providing solutions for each industry. We know that even in the same industry, none of the operations are same. So each of them has their own business flows. We are always listening that flows, and according to the characterization of the operations, we are creating dedicated task templates, task flows, and according to that needs, we are providing the necessary modules and the solutions both on the hardware part and on the software part. It can be a recycling center, cross-border waste collection companies is much more on the need of monitoring cross-border operations within a single platform. They can control within one single dashboard each of the operational breakdowns. They can see and monitor with the best admin user experience. We have local waste management collection companies. They can be at the smaller scopes, but it's also benefits to compete with the local companies to make them much more seen and digitized within the market. They can be differentiated from the competitors. We have facility management, medical waste solutions. We are providing construction and demolition skip hire operations. It can be anything that we can discuss. We are always open to hear what you're doing and how you're doing and what we can do together. And let me summarize. Yes, it's a modular customized platform. Product is developed and designed to solve unique problems within the industry. We are creating automations, so we are trying to eliminate the manual work as much as possible. But if your preference to go with the manual work, it's also okay. We are creating shortcuts also, and we are trying to eliminate the unnecessary activities during the workflow. We have dedicated rule sets according to the customers and business needs. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much for the listening.
Thank you, Ecem. It was a nice and detailed overview of the company solutions and activities. Ahmed, we can continue with you. So we can continue with your presentation.
Thank you, Ecem. CATEC Green and Tarheel. We are a sister company, and we have a collaboration agreement with a partnership agreement with Evreka to promote the sustainability vision, the circular economy into the region. CATEC and Evreka, they have providing an integrated platforms to use the software and hardware advanced in order to collaborate in each facilities to promote the service in-house. CATEC Green is authorized dealer, a reseller for Evreka in the MENA, UK, and for sure United Arab Emirates. And we are joining the efforts in order to incorporate Evreka innovative waste management solution to CATEC's expanded customers and vendors. Tarheel Collecting Waste is a waste management specialist, a sister company for CATEC Greens. We do waste management for the last 10 years. We are expert in the urban waste and industrial waste, and we do recycling activity. And we will show you in our presentation how we do this in-house locally, which can Evreka support us in consultancy services and much more. What we do collecting, transportation, and segregating all the waste. We manage recycling special materials, special waste streams, and apply principles to the circular economy, such as waste tires and other industrial waste, which is benefiting other sectors. We convert the waste into the useful material. Maybe it can be like alternative fuel or alternative raw material for other industries, like cement plants or rubber industry. We train and we do public awareness regarding the environmental protections environmental awareness, environmental innovative technology, which comes into the practice recently. We treat also hazardous and unhazardous waste through our supply chain vendors, our partners in United Arab Emirates and in Saudi also. This is in details. We do all the waste management and the concept of the circular economy. We make a waste diversion, we do waste treatment, and also we propose for a zero waste activity in the local markets. In industrial waste solution, Tarheel is one of the biggest company doing the collection and transportation, and also doing the solution for the industrial waste. We use this by having a trained, dedicated vehicle, trained employee on the ground operations who collect and who transport the waste in segregated manners to the recycling facility for pre-treatment and co-processing further process. And this material, we believe that those all type of waste, it can be a resource for our end users benefit, like cement industry and other industries as well. We are doing all of these in global vision. We have in board we have European partners who supported us with latest technologies in terms of segregating of the waste, classifying of the waste, diverting waste from the landfill to the receiving facility, which is available in the United Arab Emirates. Our collaboration with Tadweer is being promoted and being more active recently, because we manage cleaning the landfills, we manage tire waste recycling, we manage also animal waste. So as a concept of our company, group of company and CATEC Green, that we believe on the waste is resources to us. So we can divert much waste from the landfills, and also promoting this circular economy and sustainability in material receiving recovery facility. These are my presentation and company introduction, and I'm happy to receive your questions on this, please.
Thank you very much. So we will continue with the panel section questions, but in the meantime, if our audience has any questions, they can just write it in the Q&A box below, and we will go through them. So my first question will be to Ejam. What is MRF management, and how does this relate to the concept of sustainability?
Okay, thank you, Daphne. Actually, sustainability is a very broad subject that can be looked at both individually and institutionally. It's not just an environmental issue. It's a concept that emerged almost 40 years ago all over the world, but with our increasing consumption habits, it finally has become a hot topic on the agenda of the whole world. And at the core of sustainability lies the awareness of that the existing solutions and resources that we can reach today, they are not endless, they are limited. And we need to make sure that future generations can equally reach to the resources we can reach today, or even ideally, they should access the better, the more efficient. And before we describe the MRF itself, material recovery facilities, the most basic question that arises is what do we call waste? Because in the circular economy, what we call as waste might be a raw material for another, or it might be a reusable product as well. So something can have no value to me, can be a waste to me, but there is someone who will use it and benefit from. So here is where actually MRF enters the stage, and we can say that MRF's material recovery facilities accept materials and separate processes and stores them for later use as raw materials for remanufacturing and reprocessing. MRFs are like an intermediate step between the collection and and recyclable materials from waste generators, and the sale of recyclable materials within the marketplace for use in making new products. And in other words, a new meaning and value is attributed to the waste that comes to the MRFs during and the end of the processes it goes through. So we can say that the MRF facilities play a very valuable role to define what is waste or not, and how we can reuse a specific type of material, and how it can take its place in the marketplace, in the circular economy, within the sustainability concept. I hope it's enough for your question. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Ecem. Well, given the important role that it plays in circular economy, Ahmed, I'd like to ask you what you think the benefits of proper MRF management are.
Well, the main function of the MRF is to maximize the quality of recyclable proceeds. This is the main target of MRF. So while producing the material that generates highest possible and revenue to the market, reducing waste from the landfill, diverting waste from the landfill, making some incentives to the circular economy, bring sustainability, promoting all factors from the generator, collectors, and the operators in order to have this, in sustainable way, generates more revenue. We call it like a commercial operation that brings revenue to the facility, and also which having a massive environmental benefits towards the landfills, towards the illegal dumping, towards also supporting the other industries with the raw material that can be extracted and used from the MRF management.
Thank you. Well, in this respect, my next question will be to Ecem, asking about the importance of having this digital, because this is a major aspect of this issue. So,
okay, what is the place and importance of being digital when managing work? And why should we go digital? Is actually, before this can be answered based on MRF, it's actually a question general. It's like why we should be more digital in our lives, and every day a new technology emerges while make us talk about the limits and benefits of digitalization. And it can go to many points, such as why we use the phone in the first place, why our companies has accounting department there, why they're using accounting softwares, why I order my food online. The important issue here is, I think, the digitalization optimizing our daily lives, optimizing the way of our doing business, make things visible, transparent, and easily accessible. So if we talk about the digitalization of MRFs, today there are lots of facilities operating in the conventional ways, but these facilities facing also so many challenges related to the industry and lack of digitalization. For example, there might be an unrecoverable material acceptance to the facility if you're not controlling your incoming materials. If it's not getting controlled, then the lack of waste identification, it causes dangerous human interaction with hazardous waste types. Similarly, wrong process management can cause lack of inventory and so many downtimes and bottlenecks related to the performance and capacity can happen also. And with the digital MRF management, we can analyze the inbound and outbound material flows. We can make the accurate forecasting for supply and demand. We can provide efficient resource planning. It can use the storage areas effectively. It can be automations and integrated processes also. And at the end of the day, pricing of a material at the marketplace and value of your stock is critical, and it's completely linked to these steps. And you will have the insights to monitor the quality. You will track which waste generator brings you more qualified waste, which type of waste is more valuable for your business. And so the goal is making unproductive processes more efficient, being digitalized.
Thank you, Ejam. So actually, you kind of touched upon new developments in the regulatory side as well. So Ahmed, I was wondering if you can tell us about developments in waste regulations in terms of MRF, but in particular, what it is in the UAE market.
In the UAE market, the waste is managed by the local authorities. You know, it's United Arab Emirates. We have several Emirates: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman. So the waste is being regulated by the local authority. For example, we have in Abu Dhabi, we have Tadweer. In Dubai, we have Dubai Municipality. In Sharjah, we have BIA, and so on. Recently, the government giving more attention to the environment and climate change, and they have developed and enforcement the law against to preventing waste generation. For example, now in UAE we are facing that the regulator increasing the tipping fee. So the generators of the waste has to pay more if they are not doing recycling, if they are not doing a segregation on source. The transporters also, they are in position to promote the solutions according to the master plan. UAE supports the investment also. The regulation is support the investment in the recycling activities like MRFs, giving more lands, giving more incentives to the local investors who would like to implement a waste reduction plan or a waste recycling plan. So the government is giving more attention currently to the waste market and environment market by enforcing the international laws, and it has to be like in line with the master plan, which says around 75 to 80% should be diverted from the landfill by 2030 this year.
Thank you. Well, my next question will actually be about the impact. So Ejam, what are the impacts of wrong MRF management?
I think the main impact of wrong MRF management is not being able to create the impact at all. It can impact the health, the revenue, the workload, the cost of your operations, the environment, and also you can waste the waste. And where there is no technology, the processes are generally left to the people's own initiative. And one of the things we encounter most is the fraud situations because of the lack of track and trace. If you don't keep an accurate record of the waste you received at the facility, and for example, being able to track your weight information during the whole processes is one of them. If it's not done properly, a certain amount of waste can be set aside for personal interest and even sold underhand. And the waste generated, it's transported well, brought into the facility. Your all intentions were good, but if you're not handling it properly within the facility, you will lose money instead of earning, and you will be unhappy with the impact and actually not being able to create it at all.
Thank you. Well, speaking of impact, my next question is about recycling. So, Ahmed, how does correct operation and site management affect recycling, and how would it encourage recycling at the same time?
Well, the main target of the management is to generate less waste. This is the main target. It should be implemented in each organization. If the employees and the operations understand the concept of generating less, then we can say as it's going to benefit the whole recycling by doing reusing of some equipment, some furniture, some tools that they are using before disposing it, by donating some of material or waste, because we cannot consider it as waste, by also reusing those type of material which cannot be considered as a waste in the first line. So implementation of generating less is bringing a more benefit to the commercial operations, and to the site management can affect the recycling and can affect the sustainability. And how to encourage the facility to do recycling by classifying a waste. So those type of waste can be classified as waste, but we can also do a proper segregation. We can do incentive for the employees who generate less waste from their own department. So we have to emphasize more and more practice inside the organization in order to encourage the recycling inside the organization, inside the same organization. But encouraging the recycling for the city. So here comes the MRF importance. The MRF working for the city, for the urban. So we have generators. We will be so think the transporters to bring the sorted contribute to the market, to the audience. We can contribute to the city, the benefit of the recycling and sustainability by other ways, by giving incentive for the people, by educating the people, by reusing some materials, by generating a huge revenue from the most recyclable items. Here is the role of the successful MRF in order to contribute its what you call this, its benefit to the market. Yeah.
Thank you. Ejan, my next question is for you. So where is MRF in the bigger picture in terms of effective waste management?
Okay, when we think like the whole picture, yes, there is the generation, collection, distribution, and recycling parts. Let's say we've done everything properly and we are managing our facility, even recycling facility is managed, but it's again a small portion within the big picture. The whole world should act responsible. We all create carbon footprint in line with our way of living. And now we know that waste management is an issue at all levels, commercial, industrial, individual. And reduction of waste or proper management of it can come up with regulations, incentives, behavioral motivations. And we know that, for example, a detergent manufacturer puts products on the market. Then what happens to that package? What type of waste will be generated when it's consumed by me, by Ejan? Can the detergent producer company reuse it, or who can use it again? This is the part that we call extended producer responsibility. That's why now the brands are trying to do more sustainable product designs. That's why Adidas invest for their own recycling facility. And each of these steps in the waste management is becoming more crucial. And when you look at the broader frame, MRF is also one of them. For example, one of our clients are managing their e-waste operations from collection to recycling. And at the end of the day, they know if it's coming from households, retailers, or industrials. They know who is bringing it, and they know who the waste generator is. They know if it's coming from Apple or Samsung, and their share within the waste industry, thanks to that, are integrated, comprehensive, end-to-end digital waste management solutions. So if you are linking each step to each other, it's much more beneficial to get right insights for your own investment decisions, your own managerial decisions, we can say.
Thank you. And actually, this already touches on the importance of technology. So, Ahmed, how do you think we should use technology to increase the efficiency of our operations for sustainability?
Actually, the technology can play the important role in creating an efficiency process. It can reduce or eliminate the duplicate of delays of in the workflow. It also helps to speed the automating specific tasks. The technology is very much important for the efficiency of the operation, and also as well as the sustainability. It can also automate the energy consumptions, water, electricity, lighting system. It can automate all of these in order to operate in better efficiency and also a sustainable way. It can optimize the level of projects management, and also it can give more details and easy way, a friendly way for dashboards and metrics for project management, where the leaders can directly hit and find out the gaps and correct those gaps in the organization. So the technology is really important, and it is one of the essential things can be implemented in the organization, in any organization, regardless the operation. The technology can bring much more, can make easy to achieve the sustainability vision and also efficiency in the operation. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, now we're actually coming towards the end of our webinar. So Ejam, this will be my last question. What are the main takeaways that you would like to give to our audience today? You can summarize.
I can say the proper management is required at every stage related to the waste. The use of alternative raw materials, secondary raw materials, is very valuable to be sustainable at the end of the day. And for this purpose, it's necessary to reach the right and clean waste. And we need waste that is properly collected, sorted, recycled, and known where it comes from and where it goes. In other words, now actually we are like chasing the waste that we used to say at the past, get away from me. And it's more important to know what is waste and what's not. And it's important to recognize it in the individual and institutional level. It's more important to track. It's more important for the citizens to know where to dispose their waste. For the collection companies, the optimized way of the collections are important. As an entrepreneur, what do you do for circular economy is also important for your growth. And companies that want to maintain their prestige in commercial life needs to invest in these areas of economic, social, commercial, environmental sustainability. And the place where we all start to ask how we can manage all these steps responsibly is including the use of technology, complying with the regulations, going with the digitalization, providing the right training for all stakeholders. Information exchange is also required, training is required, and all of this comes with the awareness. And now, yes, the glass bottle might be more expensive than the plastic one. Sustainable resources are generally more expensive than the harmful ones. So it's like sustainable options are on the one hand, the cheaper ones are on the other. But now we dream and constantly working on to get involved or make the impact at least for every table that decisions are taken. And we had a dream of sustainability as a service concept. We are providing the best fit solutions for that purpose. And we are also giving the consultancy for this dream to come true in the best way possible.
Thank you. And for your closing remarks, Ahmed, what incentives do we have for waste collectors, generators, and recyclers today? And what kind of incentives do you foresee in the future?
Yes, the incentive is very important mechanism. We can put it in this way for all stakeholders on the recycling and for sustainability. For example, for the collectors, we can make a profit sharing with them. We can also franchise, paying them franchise fee to encourage them to collect, to reuse the recycling material instead of throwing it or sending it to landfill. So the MRF facilities management can emphasize and can enforce, in other hands, the collectors by bringing their attention to get the more incentive and the more waste they are delivering to the facility. On the generator side, we can say pay as you go, pay as you throw. If you are throwing, you are generating 10 tons in a month, so you have to pay that amount. But again, if you are paying, if you are throwing 5 tons in a month, so you pay less. This will encourage more people, and this practice is well known internationally, and it brings benefit actually to the landfill. We are trying to implement this locally here in UAE, and that's why we see that UAE government, which is a local authority, is doing studies according to the cultural of the people, the waste generated, in order to give more, promoting more incentive weight for the generators. Also offering an FOC recycling service for the commercial generators, not household. It's like malls. We can offer them and give them incentive on the taking the recyclables by FOC, or we can also share with them the revenue from the FOC. It's regardless the commercial operation is like a mall, non-hazardous operations, or some other hazardous operation, where we can also give incentive to the generator, because those material, as I stated in our presentation, that even the hazardous generators can be given incentive in order to segregate their waste inside, and to look into the best practice internationally to dispose their waste, not the landfill. For the recyclers or for the MRF operators, we can reduce the task. We can give free lands. We can also make an exemption for the tax, for the VAT and tax. Those are an incentive. I can see it currently in implementation locally and in international practice, and also I can see that the green bond is one of the future incentive can be given to the recycler, can give special made in UAE. For example, in UAE here we have made in UAE. It's free. We can have a lot of support from the government, from the tax, from the VAT, from the construction, from the transportation, just to promote the made in UAE, which comes from the recycle waste. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, if there are any questions, you can write them in the chat box below, but we haven't received any yet. So thank you very much. It was a very insightful webinar. And thank you for everyone who joined us today. We will also be sharing the recording. So if you joined later on, or if you were unable to catch some parts, we will be sharing the video as well. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can contact us and we will be responding to you. So we haven't received any questions, so I think we can finalize the webinar. Thanks again.
Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Daphne.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.